down on our page to near the bottom, drudgereport.com. You can read the USA Today article that goes along with it. We have to have a debate about the future of humanity, period. Because Bill Joy of Sun Microsystems, I mention this a lot because he wrote about it in a lengthy article back in 1999 for Wired Magazine. He wrote, "Why the future doesn't need us. Our most powerful 21st century technologies, robotics, genetic engineering, and nanotech, are threatening to make humans an endangered species." And I want to explain something. He goes into meeting with 200 top globalist, top computer owners, he himself a multi-billionaire, and the decision was made, they're not just going to let us wander around like Leanne was talking about and just write poetry all day. They see the 7.5 billion people as a scourge on the planet. You could argue we are hurting the planet. But regardless, the decision's been made to dumb us down, put infertility drugs in the food and water. This has all been announced, and just kind of stun us with chemicals until we're all have Alzheimer's by 45 and just phase out 90+% of the world population. This is all official UN announcements. Everybody knows about this, but people just go, oh, that's the plan? So they're designing the whole grid to be a kill grid. So it'll be killer robots mopping up the last of us, and the elite will merge with the machines and become gods. Now, that's what Ray Kurzweil and Google say.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put two and two together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds, is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor just won't quit.
When cells become toxic, they die early and aging sets in. No one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. Just one of the key compounds, BioPQQ, is backed by major clinical studies. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? We now have the synergistic solution. Secure your DNA force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
Hey, how you doing, Al?
Good, brother.
Just recently started using your products. Everything you said about them's correct. Me and my wife both use a lot of them, and it's made a lot of changes in our lives here.
Well, thank you, brother, because it also funds our operation. But doing that, I know I've got to have the highest quality. Super Male Vitality was developed to activate your body's own natural processes instead of using synthetic chemicals.
We do the Super Male and the Super Female Vitality. Big changes, a lot of energy. We've gotten off of the cheap energy drinks, energy shots, saving a ton of money there.
Sourced from powerful organic herbs, harvested around the planet, and then concentrated for maximum potency. They want us stunned and dumbed down, and energy drinks and stuff just cover that up for a while, but then burn you out, in my experience, whereas stuff that gets your glands naturally going goes right to the source. So it's pretty exciting, and I love it. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality and other powerful products from InfoWars Life.
Another major health threat, this one in Toledo, Ohio, where everybody in the entire city has been told not to drink the water.
Ohio's governor declaring a state of emergency.
Did you know that the average person uses about 80 to 100 gallons of water at home every single day? If there's a water emergency, will you be prepared?
Panicked residents forming long lines throughout the day.
We're here at a supermarket in Toledo. You can see the shelves empty where water once was.
To stay safe and healthy during a crisis, you must have access to safe, clean water. Water which will not be available at your local grocery store.
There's a mad dash on right now to stock up on supplies.
The ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system is a must-have for every modern, independently minded household. Protect your family's safety during an emergency. Go to InfoWarsStore.com today to purchase your ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system or call 1-888-253-3139.
Alex Jones here. For the last 2 years, I've been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to design a nutraceutical formulation that has truly life-changing health benefits. So many other formulations out there contain toxic ingredients, synthetic additives, and even GMOs. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend, crafted with over 14 key ancient herbs and extracts to supercharge and prepare your body for what experts admit is the most dangerous season of the year. We have rejected tested hundreds of other formulations in our quest to bring you what is simply the most powerful and comprehensive proprietary formula that we have ever created in the realm of herbal immunity. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. Now is the time to secure ancient defense for you and your family. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139. That's InfoWarsLife.com.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
We've got it. This transmission is coming to you.
Waging war on corruption.
All right, you are go.
It's Alex Jones, coming to you live from the front lines of the InfoWar.
The video is halfway down on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. We're going to put it out on Twitter and Facebook as well. Armed Citizens March at South by Southwest here in Austin. That's important because the mainstream media is creating the perception that guns are illegal nationwide. They produce most shows based in New York or D.C. or L.A. where they basically banned most guns. And then they go, look, we went to this guy's house and he had 10 guns. Dirty criminal. Or, you have a gun on the car? Yes, we're going to prison. That's illegal. So open carry reconditions the public to understand that more guns mean less crime in all the major studies. But the mainstream media is out there brainwashing the public, and the Attorney General's words, that's his words. You never heard that? Let's try to find that. Quote, literally brainwash the public against the Second Amendment, where the public in major studies, according to LA Times and Forbes, believes that gun crime's up when it's down 51% since 1992, Justice Department's own numbers. But that video of an amazing gun march yesterday here in Austin that needs to go viral is on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. And we've got our print reporters and our videographers and researchers and folks out on the streets, and we're going to be having a lot of South by Southwest news, a lot of culture jamming news this week during the weekday broadcast, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. And, of course, you can follow all of that at Real Alex Jones on Twitter and, of course, at Infowars.com. Now, before I get into the bad news, it's confirmed, internet power grab. We got the FCC documents. They released it 2 weeks and 1 day afterwards, after the story was out of the news. Soon as it died down, they released it like a horrible stink bomb in church, very quietly, hoping no one noticed who did it. And it's worse than I thought it would have been. We're going to be going over that. Plus, it's totally illegal where it came from, how it's being done. And the Hill newspaper, the reports on Congress, is basically pointing that out. It's just blatantly blazing. Bravada, just like opening the borders without even an executive order. An executive order is treason. The president doesn't make law. Or Obama shutting down power plants or going after bullets outside of law. But they're doing it. They're doing it. And if they get away with it, they'll get away with more. Before I get into that and the avian flu in Missouri news, that's really scary because when that jumps into humans, it's like 90-something% fatal. Before we go there, let's get into the geopolitical news because I've got about 6 or 7 articles here that all tie into each other when you're geopolitically literate. The general public thinks geopolitics is boring. That's why most college graduates can't tell you the 3 branches of government domestically, and they can't tell you the 7 continents. And but they can tell you baseball scores or football scores or NBA scores. It's not because they're even stupid. They were brought up learning how to fill their mind with tripe. It's much more interesting to know the different types of nuclear weapons. It's much more interesting to understand the history of the Russians or the Chinese or the Americans. It's fascinating. Plus, it makes you successful and informative. I've talked to U.S. ambassadors to different countries. I've talked to top generals. I've talked to insurance company heads. I've talked to rocket scientists. And they'll always be amazed at my general knowledge in their field, and they're shocked, and they'll say, well, my own engineers don't know this much stuff. And I'm somebody, folks, that can't even hardly spell. But I can certainly learn how things work and how they interconnect because it's fascinating. I'm sure I could have become a football fan expert and tell you the sports scores from 1976 or what happened in the 1984 Super Bowl or what happened this year in the Super Bowl. But you know what? I don't want to know the jockstrap size of some arrogant roid-head punk. Sorry, just not into it. But I do want to know about space probes landing on comets. I'm into really neat stuff. And you can say, hey, I'm a weirdo. Well, that's fine. Being informed, knowing known liars is a little weird. Back when this country was founded, people were into speaking 5-6 languages and not being conned and being informed and being ready to fight. They were called the greatest people ever by foreign historians in France and England and you name it. Now we're known as the dumbest, knuckle-dragging, stupid, most unhealthy people in the world. Because the globalists did a job on us. Plus, we were so prosperous, our ancestors gave us so much wealth, we became a bunch of spoiled, rotten punks that think just acting trendy and like we don't care about anything and being big slackers is cool. Not caring is cool. Not caring is not existing. You're dead already. That's what Bill Joyce said. They said, look, these aren't people anymore anyways. The only question is there's going to be a lot of moral people who don't want to be slaves, who are going to fight the technocracy. And that's what the combat robots are going to be for. And the surveillance grid and the predictive systems to know when you're going to stand up. When you look around and see half the kids on your block with autism and a third of the people with cancer. And you read all the government documents, how they're doing it by design and laughing at us. And oh, no, we've got to be mopped up, huh? We don't want to wear different colored socks and have little beards and, act trendy and shuffle around, have our girlfriends boss us around. We're called men. And the world doesn't need us anymore, we're told. It's the end of the age of men. We'll see about that. Because when the men in the system find out they're not going to be brought into this new world order either, when they find out it's a centralized spiritual takeover via machines, by a group of adepts, Luciferians on the inside, and that it's the end of humanity as we know it because the devil wants to play God and have a new creation. When the elite find out they're going to be cut off, there's going to be some major resistance. And it's an info war, ladies and gentlemen, and reality is so much stranger than fiction. But let's get into what's currently happening. Kerry says U.S. will have to negotiate with Syria's Assad. Reuters, boy, remember 2 years ago when they used al-Qaeda to stage a chemical attack twice on Assad's forces and then claimed that the West had done it, but then it came out it was Saudi intelligence? Well, now they say that the Saudi Arabian, Qatari-backed al-Qaeda, known as ISIS, is so bad that we've got to get with Assad to try to take him out. Assad, who did nothing, where women can go to college, who was westernizing things and working with the United States, he got set up. But now, who even knows if this is true? The policy is so deceptive and so war-gamed and so multi-leveled and twisted, they probably don't even know what they're doing. But that's in Reuters. That dovetails with this little jewel. Iraq Kurds claim Islamic State used chemical weapons on them. Well, Islamic State is al-Qaeda, who's been caught using it twice. The UN even had to admit it, that it wasn't Assad. But remember our media saying Assad did it? Foreign media knew it was pure bull because they don't fully control the jihadis. They just fund them and turn them loose. Like throwing a kid in with 5 starving pit bulls. The starving pit bulls with rabies, eating gunpowder for their whole life, aren't under your control, but they're going to eat that kid. Just like I put 100 black widows in your bed at night, one of them's going to bite you, maybe 2 or 3. I don't control the black widows, but I put them in your bed. Well, it's the same thing. The jihadis shot video with their al-Qaeda flags launching the chemical mortars because they want to be rock stars online. And that's what screwed up Kerry's little operation. And then the Army said, and the Air Force said, and the Marines said, and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs went to Obama that Saturday night and said, we're not launching an attack tomorrow. There's basically going to be a coup. This even came out here and there in the news. But it came out that the chairman went and said, we're not backing al-Qaeda. Remember the troops were putting out that meme, I won't fight for al-Qaeda, Infowars.com. When we come back, what's really going on in the Middle East, it is melting down. And Putin, again, AP, says preparing to use nuclear weapons over Crimea. You can't make that up. That's the headline. These are important times to focus on reality, not on football, and acting manly. Stay with us. Used since before the days of the Roman Empire to support the body's natural systems and enhance overall health. Introducing the new InfoWarsLife.com Oil of Oregano formulation, a highly advanced nutraceutical form of this key herb that has been traditionally used by civilizations for thousands of years to promote health. we have now procured the most high-quality and potent forms of oregano oil on the market, sourced from top leading manufacturers to ensure a concentrated level of bioactive ingredients, extracted directly from the wild herb and sealed in easy-to-use capsules. You will no